Welcome back to Walls and Bourbon. This is an impromptu video that I decided to film at 11:24 at night after a night out, drinking wine, drinking some margaritas, drinking some other things. But I feel like I'm okay. My palate's fine. Haven't had any whiskey tonight. Came home, was inspired by another post from a friend, decided I wanted to do a little side-by-side. Okay? So we'll cut to the chase. We're going to be drinking two absolute bangers, one of which relatively cheap, relatively available at the time. The other not cheap and not available and relatively expensive on the secondary market. Not uber expensive, but pretty freaking expensive. My most expensive purchase in the whiskey world since I've been in the whiskey world. So we're going to go with two things that are very close in terms of age, in terms of proof, in terms of distillery. So they're from the same distillery, very similar age, very similar proof, with one subtle difference and about $400 difference on secondary value. So we're going to go with what is pretty widely accepted as the best batch in the last, 2, 3, 4 years, maybe more. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C923. I do have a backup of this. I've been babying it because it's absolutely fucking delicious. As you can see, I think it's 133 proof, 133 flat, 13-year, 7-month age statements. That's the highest age statement that an Elijah Craig Barrel Proof has ever had. There's been a little bit of hubbub about that because some have been under 12, and generally 12 is the standard. Anyway, this one, absolute fucking banger. As you can see, it is pour number 2. I have not poured these yet. And the other one, you may have guessed if you know anything about whiskey or about Heaven Hill. Ta-da! Parker's Heritage Double Barrel Blend. 66.1 proof, 132.2 proof. So it is 0.8 proof difference from that one. This is a 67% Kentucky Straight Bourbon whiskey aged 13 years and 33% Kentucky Straight Bourbon whiskey aged 15 years. So this is a blend of two different barrels. Da 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 da, blah 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 blah, da 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 da. But yeah, I was thinking I was putting a level 3 char for 4 weeks. Then it was later blended with 15-year-old bourbon aged on the 2nd and 5th floor of the Rick House. Blah, 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 blah. Science, science, science. Words, words, words. Anyway, this one's an absolute fucking banger. This was actually my first secondary purchase that I made after a night of drinking, and I kind of regretted, but I don't regret because it's fucking delicious. So this was one that came with, I bought this and either a Shanks or a Bomberger's. I can't remember off the top. I think it was a Shanks 2022 for $650 total. So essentially paid about $5 for that, $150 for the Shanks, which for this is a decent price. They're still going for $550 plus for the most part. Is it far more expensive than retail and far more expensive than I thought I'd ever spend on a bottle on secondary? Yes, that is correct. But I'd been drinking, and I don't regret it that bad because it's that good. So, anyway, let's get these poured. We're going to do this blind. So this video may be a little bit longer. I'm going to try to condense it. So, number 1, Parker's Heritage Double Barrel. Just a small pour. Just a small pour. Okay. Elijah Craig C923. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C923. Let's make sure they're of similar pour levels. Better go ahead and top this one off. So I don't know how well you guys can see these. To me, the double barrel does certainly look a bit darker. So double barrel, C923. Like I said, 13-year, 13 and 15-year blend. Yeah. So they actually look relatively similar up here. Down there earlier, I think the double barrel definitely looks darker. Anyway, let's do the old okey doke. How you guys doing tonight? What'd you do? Did you have a good weekend? Did you have a good night? You have a good week? Hope you did. Okay. Who knows? We're gonna go ahead and try them. I feel like the color, to my naked eye, I can tell which one is which, but I'm gonna try not to look at the color. Okay, glass number 1. Nose is excellent. Proofy. Got that Heaven Hill smell, the distinct smell. A little nutty, caramely. Opens up the old olfactory senses. Okay, we're going to set that down right over here. To be clear, what it's lined up with is not necessarily what it is. Double barrel. I'm sorry, not double barrel. I don't know what these are. I'm at number 2. Similar nose. Heaven Hill, proofy. This one smells a little more mature. Still kind of tingles the old nostrils when you get it way up in there, which I've never done. I can give you a list. They can vouch that. Yeah, I feel like nose. I'm trying not to look at the color at all. Nose is very similar. You may hear the sump pump kicking on in the background. That's because it's been raining all fucking day in Chicago. All day. It's not snow. Can't be mad. But it's been raining all day. Okay, nose is very similar. Like, very similar. One more quick nose. We have a little water. Okay. Last time. Nose is great. Okay. Final answer, nose on glass 2, I like slightly better, but they are very, very close. Like, you know, within 5 to 10% of one another. Probably within 5%. Probably less than 5%. I think, too, I like a little better because it's not quite as abrasive with the ethanol-y smell. They're both 130 plus proof, so you're going to get that. Like, there's no way to hide that 100%. On the palate's a different story. But usually you're going to be able to smell that it has some alcohol in it. Okay, so we'll go back. We'll try number 1. Let's sip it. Very good. Is a little hot through here. Once again, 133 and 132.8. 132.2. So it is a little hot going down. That is my first drink of whiskey tonight. I feel like Rick and Morty. I'm fucking spitting all over myself. Hot. Very good, though. Nice, oily, oaky, very tasty. A treat. First guess, this is probably the Elijah Craig. This is probably the double barrel. That's my early guesses. but I think they're very similar. That's the whole point of doing this. So second sip. So I gotta give that caveat. Second sip is never gonna drink as hot as the first sip. But that motherfucker is delicious. Both very, very good. But this one is incredibly good. And once again, I said glass 1, glass 2. They have stickers on the bottom of them that coordinate with or correspond with the bottle I poured them from. We'll come to that in a little bit. Number 1, glass 1 over here. Not necessarily number 1, but glass 1. Excellent. Like, very good. Is a little hot coming through the old chest. But like I said, first whiskey drink of the night. But oaky, oily, great nose. A little ethanol on the nose. But man, that's good. And then this one, glass 2. It's like that same thing, but slightly more. And at the finish, just lingers and goes on and on and on. Okay, let's have a sip of water. Okay, we'll go back the other way now. Glass 2. Nose is excellent. It's same thing, caramely, oaky, a little bit of nutty, just like kind of the standard Heaven Hill nose, but the best version of it. Not a whole lot of Heaven Hill products I've had have a better nose than this. One of the best. Oh yeah. Oh fuck me. That one, excellent. Absolutely excellent. So if I end up being wrong, that's fine. I'm happy being wrong. And it's just an endorsement of the ECBP product. But I'm 95% sure that's the double barrel. Because it's literally everything I want from a Heaven Hill product. And it's what makes me not feel so bad for drunkenly spending a little too much money on a secondary purchase. We've all been there. Or if you've been in the whiskey game long enough, you've been there. You know how it goes. Okay. Glass 1. This is like the little brother of that. Like it's almost there. It's just missing something. Just missing just that little bit of something. But it's still excellent. On the nose. What can I say? That's also excellent. Tickles the old tongue. I just feel a little in here. This one drinks a little hotter than this. This, either one, it being 132 plus proof. This one drinks more like a 120, 120-ish, 120 to 126-ish. This one drinks every bit of 130 to 135 proof. You know you're drinking high proof whiskey. Now, is it exceptionally pleasant for that? Absolutely. Now, time for the reveal. Final answer. This is the Elijah Craig C923. This is the Parker's Heritage Double Barrel Blend. Drum roll. Class 1 is number 2, which is Elijah Craig C923. So, like I said, they are very similar. There is So I guess the point I'm trying to make, there is not a $400 difference in the value of these two. This is probably 80 to 90% of what this is. Sorry. Now for confusion's sake, let me line them up with what they actually are. So glass 2 was number 1, which you probably can't even see that. But it is number 1, which also you can't see, but just trust. Glass number 1 on the stickers is the Parkers. This is absolutely excellent. One of the best Heaven Hill products I've had to date. It's so good. 132.2 proof. Drinks like 120, 125, 126 proof. Excellent nose. Great on the mouth. Oily, oaky. Excuse me. Incredible finish. My point being, though, this was a big release, readily available, costs $60, $70 most places, and is about 80 to 90% of the experience you get here, in my opinion. This is fucking excellent. I'm glad I have a backup. If you don't have one, you should trade to get one. You should buy one. They're going on the secondary for between 120, 150, give or take. It's definitely worth getting, especially if you love Elijah Craig or you love Heaven Hill. Fucking excellent. Is this better? Yes, without question. And I did another blind just like this a few months back, I think when I first got the Elijah Craig, because the nose reminded me so much of the double barrel. But they're both excellent. If you have an opportunity to get this or can trade up to get this, definitely do it. It's so good. Most all of the Parkers are incredibly good, but this one is exceptional. Anyway, it's late at night. This video is getting long. The end of the story is Parker's Double Barrel, incredible. Don't feel bad for buying it on secondary, drunkenly. It's very good. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C923 is the best Elijah Craig Barrel Proof that's been released in at least the last 3 years as far as I'm concerned. Some of the Pirate Barrels definitely compete with it, but this is excellent. If you can get your hands on one, do it. That's all I got. Heaven Hill, great. They make good stuff. Okay, so go out and get some, try some, get a sample. If you have questions, if you have comments, if you have concerns, if you want to see me try something else, if you want to see me drink more Scotch, more Buffalo Trace, more fill in the blank, or any of this shit back here, just let me know. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe. Like I said, comment and let me know what you want me to do in the future. Have a great night.